road, I'd be obliged. He stood up. "Where are you going, son?" his mother asked. "Oh, I think I'll take me a little stroll through the town. Give the good folks one last look before they're shed of me." He looked at his parents. "You know, when I leave this go-round, I probably won't be back." They nodded their heads. Preacher stepped out of the house into the cold, early March air of Ohio. A thin covering of new snow the past night had laid a carpet of white over the land. Preacher checked on his horse, Thunder, and then decided to stretch his legs and walk the short distance into the village. A town, actually. Darn near 500 people lived all crowded up like ants. Preacher still drew stares from the citizens, but he paid them no heed. Just walked on to the combination coach stop, hotel, and tavern, and opened the door. The buzz of conversation stopped when he padded silently up to the bar, the soles of his high-topped moccasins making no more than a whisper on the floor. He leaned on the bar and ordered a whiskey with a beer chaser. Several ladies who had stopped there for the night and were waiting on the afternoon coach began whispering behind their fancy fans. Preacher paid them no mind. From the looks of them, they were city women, all gussied up to beat the band. Preacher took a sip of whiskey and a sip of beer. He hid a smile as the few locals who were lined up at the bar backed away, clear down to the end, getting as far away from Preacher as they could. It had been in this very tavern, just 2 weeks past, that Preacher had killed that feller who shucked out his knife during what Preacher had thought was just a friendly fistfight. Preacher had left him on the floor, cut from navel to neck. The door opened and a frail boy of about 9 or 10 entered. The boy's clothing was ragged and the soles of his shoes were tied on with string. He carried a small bucket with a lid on it. The top of the boy's head just did reach the lip of the bar. He placed the bucket on the bar and said, "A bucket of beer for Mr. Parks, please, sir." The barkeep took the bucket to rinse it out, and the boy looked at the free lunch on the table, hunger in his eyes. His pinched face was pale, and his eyes held a strange brightness. "You hungry, boy?" The boy's eyes were scared as they fixed on the mountain man. "Yes, sir. Some." "Then fix you a sandwich or two." "That food's for customers," the barkeep hollered. "The lad just bought a bucket of beer, didn't he?" Preacher asked. "So that entitles him to food. Fix you something to eat, boy." "I'll slap you, boy," the barkeep barked. "You stay away from that food, you woods colt." Preacher gave the barkeep a disgusted look as he walked to the table and fixed 2 huge meat and cheese sandwiches and gave them to the boy. "You sit over there by the stove and eat and get warm, boy." He turned to the barkeep. "You want to slap me?" The man paled. No, sir." "Fine. Now you pour that lad a big glass of milk and then go on about your business and leave the boy alone." The boy fell into a hard fit of coughing that reddened his face. Bad lungs, Preacher thought. A wonder he lived through the winter. Hard footsteps slammed on the boards outside the coach stop, and the door was flung open. The hard and big bulk of Elam Parks filled the doorway, his face mottled with rage. He held a quirt in one hand. He pointed the quirt at the boy. "What the hell do you think you're doing, Eddie?" he shouted. "I didn't give you permission to eat." "No, but I did," Preacher said. In the time Preacher had been in town, he'd seen enough of Elam Parks to last him 2 lifetimes. Parks was an important man about the community. He owned several farms, a couple of businesses, and about 50% of the local bank. His brother was in tight with the governor or senator or some damn blowhard politician. Parks thought himself the bull of the woods around these parts. He was a bull.